The Warframe Devstream 191 has concluded, and with it even more news on the Old Peace update, and we even got ourselves the date of the Old Peace, which will be December the 10th, when we finally get our hands on all of the awesome new things coming to Warframe. And last Devstream we got some information on the new game mode called the Descension and saw 3 new proto-frames coming to the game. This week we will continue with the Old Peace news, as they had much more to share than could fit in a single Devstream. But well, I'm Tipsy, and let's go over what the Devstream has shown us so far and what we can expect in the next upcoming update, the Old Peace, coming this December. First off, as we know, Gyra Prime is coming with the Old Peace, and she is looking great already. And a few more things are shown coming with her, the Zendaya and also the armor set which will be coming with her, together with her new weapons as shown here, and it looks pretty good so far. And on top of this, we'll also be getting the Veruna Deluxe Skin this update, and this looks like a metal version skin, which looks pretty cool as well. So the Gyra and Veruna players are definitely eating good this December, and I can't wait to actually upgrade my Gyra to Gyra Prime. Then as mentioned, the Old Peace update is coming to us December the 10th, and as shown with the release trailer here. And if you want to see more update news and guides for this content, I'd be sure to try and cover it all, so feel free to subscribe to the channel for new videos covering the Old Peace things or just Warframe guides in general. And of course a like to the video will also be much appreciated. Now with December the 10th being the day before the Gamemodes, I'm really curious to see what they will actually be showing us in the Gamemodes, as they have mentioned that the new world premiere will actually be ready for us on December the 11th, when the Gamemodes actually takes place. So be sure to watch the Gamemodes afterwards, otherwise I should be sure to cover it when it actually comes around. And from what we know so far, to actually access the new content, the Old Peace, we will have to have completed the Lotus Eater quest first, as this will basically be the setup for it. It seems like it will be the starting point for the Old Peace quest, as well as the Warframe 99 content. So in the future, newer players will probably be given the choice going to the Warframe 99 or the Old Peace, depending on what they actually want to explore first. And to kick this off, they will actually be implementing a new skip ahead button for new players to try out these 2 new game modes, which they call the Crazy button. This will actually take you straight into these 2 new mission game modes, and it will skip all the story quests to allow you to actually try out the new game modes. But you will have to be playing with your own loadout, meaning it will not be easy for you as a new player, as this content is definitely intended for a later game player, so keep that in mind. Also, if you're under MR10, you cannot public queue into these quests without actually being there yourself. That means this crazy skip button will only allow you to queue with friends under MR10, but once you're over MR10 you can then queue into public lobbies normally like you would. The reason for this is probably that they don't want completely new players filling all of the public lobbies in these 2 new game modes. It's also only for the game mode, so you will not really be getting story spoilers. They explained it as the game mode screens being their own, and they basically pull the hood down over everything outside of it. Still, you will be getting some spoilers through the gameplay, but it is not a story skip button, only a gameplay skip button. So the new button only skips to the game modes, nothing else, and all other story quests and so on will still have to be completed to actually get full access to the game system. So returning players or new players can get taxied and try out the newer content easier without actually having to rush through the entire story just to try something new, which seems like a great addition to the game. Now next up is our new demon Warframe Uriel, who is looking awesome and is already coming with an extra helmet skin. And as a new frame is introduced, of course we will also need a new weapon, and for Uriel this is the Vinquibus, which seems like a long primary weapon and also a melee weapon in one. And as Rebecca said,
could we have a bayonet weapon in Warframe? And the answer is yes. So
this new weapon will automatically be equipped as both a melee and a primary in one, and seamlessly in gameplay you will be able to switch between melee and primary modes as a pretty unique gunblade style deal here. The Vinquibus will also have a separate modding slot for melee and primary, as this will actually be a 2-in-1 weapon basically. And to test the weapon out in the Devstream, they went into the new upcoming Simulacrum, the Rough Oblivion Arena, which actually looks pretty great so far. And as they began to test the weapon, one thing that actually stood out really quickly was the sound design and animations, which are awesome, and just listen to these sounds. The primary mode works like a high-powered rifle, and when you get close to enemies you can then slap them around with the melee mode. And all of this is in one weapon, and I'm really looking forward to trying this out. Also, an interesting new trait with this weapon is that it actually has a unique trait that will synergize between the different modes, which means headshots with the primary mode will give you more melee damage, while melee kills will give you more ammo efficiency. so you'll be able to change back and forth with these modes buffing each other. And with that, Uriel's new weapon has been covered quickly, and it is time to cover Uriel. So for Uriel, let's start with his passive abilities, which looks to be his 3 new companions, where each companion has their own special effects while active. The first minion basically allows you to chain enemies together so they will share damage similarly to Kulavo's ability, and these minions will always be active as long as you keep them alive, and you can also revive them once they are dead. The second minion will latches onto a single enemy's face, cursing them to stagger with a mark above their head, and killing the staggered enemy will give you an increased chance for health and energy orbs to drop, while leaving behind a field of fire that will inflict heat damage over time to any enemies in the vicinity. Now for the third minion, that will basically allow you to collect corpses and convert them into a small floating collectible Hellfire Root. That will then increase your fire rate by 75% and grant you an extra instance of heat ammo, which you will then be able to shoot enemies with, lasting for around 10 seconds. And already here, just with the passive and the minions alone, we will have a pretty unique setup with Uriel, and some nice things happening around you passively. But of course, Uriel has his own abilities on top of this. Now the first ability, called the Infernalis, which was shown last time, and allows you to fly around while bullet jumping, and it will go in and out of this form seamlessly for combat, while also setting things ablaze in your nearby vicinity, which seems pretty cool. The second ability, Remedium, is how you restore your companions and your own health as well, as this will actually cleanse your status effects, will heal you a little bit, but also revive your companions or actually heal your companions. So this is basically your how to restore your companions and yourself. Now the third ability, the Demonium, is somewhat of a control ability where you'll rip a piece of soul out of your enemies and then hurl your minions forward into them. This will also trigger all of your minions' effect, and if your Infernalism is active, the first ability, enemies hit by the Demonium will also be set ablaze and receive heat status damage. Then lastly, for the fourth ability, the Brimstone, this is where Uriel creates a domain of hell around him, setting his surroundings ablaze, basically like a Jujutsu Kaisen domain expansion style ability, attacking all of the enemies in the vicinity around you. And of course, to actually obtain Uriel in gameplay, he will be obtained through the new game mode called Descension. Overall, Uriel sounds like a really interesting frames with some new mechanics that we haven't seen before, while animations and visuals are on point, so I can't wait to actually try him out in gameplay. And now for Marie, I got nothing to say, I'm just gonna let you watch this scene.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Should I be watching this?
No.
Okay, cut away, we can't spoil it all.
And remember to like the video, definitely for Marie. Now for the Focus School expansion, which will include the ultimates which we've seen in the trailers that will combine our Warframe and operators to do a huge slash or attack or special sort of attack. And these will be available in the Tau game mode called the Perita Rebellion, but if you want to bring them back to the normal game, we will have to talk with Marie, because Marie will be the vendor for these abilities in the normal game mode, and you'll have to buy these abilities to expand your loadout, so you can actually use them. And they will cost a few different resources or currencies, which we'll probably be getting in the new game modes. And to accommodate this, the entire Focus School series has actually been updated a little bit to show where you can actually upgrade the new weapon attacks. They will have their own nodes which you can upgrade, costing school focus and resources from the new game modes. And these new weapons are also a custom weapon that you can equip on top of your operator, which then can be upgraded with 5 new custom mod slots and also a custom arcane slot. So we'll have 5 new weapon attacks to look forward to trying out in the Tau and bringing back to the normal star chart, and they look great, all of them. And now for the new game mode called the Perita Rebellion. In this new game mode you can play 3 main fights, each ending with a boss fight. And before heading in, you can actually choose your focus school to see the special attack for that school and the bonus effects it will give you. And these missions will take place on a larger tile set on Tau, and you will have a countdown to do as many objectives as you can in this war mode. And the more you complete, the more upgrades and bonuses you will get along the way. There's also slingshot hooks floating around in the sky, which you can use to traverse in the Tau battlefield more efficiently, and also battleships you can grapple onto to destroy. And while doing this, even Prime Warframes might spawn in as mini-bosses, such as Emperor Prime did here, and they will be part of a group called the Prime Vanguards, which is consisting of 6 Prime Warframes that can attack you while playing these missions, so they will kind of work like the Stalker Acolytes, which we know from the main game. And then once the 12 minutes have passed or earlier, the boss fight will then begin with a giant that can even take you into an Arcwing fight phase, so you better get your Arcwing and weapons modded. So far, these 2 new game modes are looking great and will bring a ton of new content to the game to try out coming this December the 10th. Also, when it releases, they will come with a time limited mission where we can get some rewards from it called the Operation Blood of Pertia, which will basically be available for some time after playing the new quest coming to Warframe. And with the Old Peace coming soon, let's go over a quick summary for this update and what is coming to us on December the 10th. We are getting the Old Peace quest to explore and play through, introducing the 2 new game modes, where we're also getting the new frame Uriel and his weapons to farm, the Focus School expansion, and also the Tau Forge weapon attacks, which we can obtain and bring into our normal star chart. We will also be getting the Operator and Drifter remastered covered in the last Devstream, the Descendia game mode, the Big Tower from last recap, and also the Perita Rebellion, which we went over today, which will be taking place on Tau with a boss fight at the end. And of course, we also get romance options for the Devil's Triad like Harrow, Marie, and Uriel's proto-frames. Lastly, Gyra Prime and Veruna Deluxe Skins are coming, and with it even more new stuff to the update, as this is not all, but we will get even more stuff in the update, which I can't wait to see when it drops. And with that, the Warframe Devstream 191 should be covered so far, and now we just have to wait a few more days until the update actually hits, and we can get our hands on all of this stuff for ourselves in game. Also, a little side note, I have made a Warframe dashboard tracker which will still be in the early stages, but I will leave a link down below for you all to check it out, and a video covering it should be out soon. Now, if you find this video helpful or have gotten the information you came for, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and it would be greatly appreciated. Also join the Discord server to hop in and become a part of the community, and once again, thank you to the supporters on the Patreon as seen here, as you really help me out. But all I gotta say is stay tuned, stay tipsy, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.